Hi folks, Patrick here at RX Networks. This video visualizes how RX Networks GNSS data services help a receiver perform better. We have two main services. Location.io is a GNSS assistance service, and TruePoint.io is a GNSS correction service. Let's start with a simple definition of what a GNSS receiver is. It is a clock and a radio that is tuned to a frequency that a satellite transmits on. This satellite, for the intents and purposes of this video, is transmitting its own time and position. When the receiver gets this information, it compares the difference in time to determine a distance. The next slide is on how we use this distance. Now we're going to look at this from the perspective of a GNSS receiver tasked with determining where it is on this blank slide. We need an observation to give us a clue as to where we might be. We search for and eventually track our first satellite. As we do that, we determine the distance to it, assuming the speed of light and the time difference I previously mentioned. Now, we know we are somewhere on the edge of the circle. When we track a second satellite, using the same procedure, we eliminate the possibilities to the two intersections. When we track and range to one more satellite, we have our position. But this took a while and is known as a cold start time to first fix. Just as a note, in our two-dimensional example here, it took 3 satellites to determine a position. But in our 3-dimensional world, it actually takes at least 4 satellites to do this. Depending on the receiver, it could take a while. How do we assist every receiver in determining this positioning sooner? We give the receiver a head start instead of waiting for the ephemeris data to download from the satellites. When a GNSS receiver is connected to Location.io, it downloads the ephemeris of the satellites through faster telecom infrastructure. Since it knows where the satellites are, it sees them right away and establishes a warm start. But these satellites are in constant orbit around the globe, and receivers turn off to be powered back on sometime later. After power down, the satellites in the sky will have moved. The receiver may have moved as well. Here is where Location.io's predicted ephemeris comes in. A receiver connected to Location.io downloads where the satellites are going to be, so that when it powers back on, it maintains a warm start experience. Now let's focus on another adversity in GNSS positioning: error in the distance to the satellite. TruePoint.io's correction service is here to solve that. TruePoint.io is a GNSS correction service that provides corrections to apply to the distance measurements to the satellites. In effect, you get better positioning accuracy. With RX Network's global reference network of receivers around the world, information about errors in satellite clocks, orbits, and biases, along with the effects of ionosphere and troposphere, can correct a receiver's measurements and determine a much more accurate position. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to know more about how our GNSS data services can enlighten the location in your receiver, please visit our website at rxnetworks.com or email us at info@rxnetworks.com.